Time. All righty, and it is fun times. Except for, you know what, I've noticed I'm stopping a lot anytime I put this up now again. I don't know why it's
Yeah,
doing
you
that.
are. Well, yeah. I mean, on my end through Streamyard, I can't say that you're kind of hitching up a little bit there.
Yeah, it's like I'm popping and locking. All righty, hey kids, how you doing? We are going to be playing around in the tier list again. I put together a top 20 list of what I figured was the greatest Fantastic Four covers done by Jack Kirby. Let me get rid of my background here. Maybe that'll stop the stopping. Never stop, never stopping, man. Um, and I put in a couple that I know because this is Eric's favorite run of comics. I put in a couple I know he's backed up. It is impossible, dude. I went through the 100 1 through 100. It's Jack Kirby straight up. And by 29, I already had 16. And I'm trying to do the top 20. And then once I was like, okay, done. All of the ones that I looked and went, holy crap, that's fantastic. It ended up being 50. And I had to whittle this 50 awesome. I mean, these are the ones I was looking at going, these are top tier covers. You can't take that away from anybody. It's Jack the freaking King, and this is why he's king. And so I had to whittle these down, and it was so freaking hard because after a while I had to start getting rid of iconic covers. The Submariner annual where he's sitting on the throne. There's better Submariner covers. Doctor Doom's first appearance. There's better Doctor Doom covers. So I had to pick and choose. It was
Well,
it was
and being a Jack Kirby fan as well. I mean, it's going to be hard not to say, oh, S S S
S S
S.
S. Yeah. So and you make a great point. So first of all, there is no bad cover tonight. The tier levels you'll see, I've actually named them rather than bad, like we would normally would. Um, but try to rank the covers because, of course, we're looking at the audience as well. I want to see where you would put it. I've got 10 levels. Ultimately, I'm trying to make up a top 10. But how it's going to go, and you'll see numbers on the side. If it makes it to the S tier, that gets 10 points, 9, 8, and so forth and so on. Try to judge the covers based on the other covers rather than is it Jack Kirby and freaking awesome, because we already know this. And if this goes well, and I hope it does, I want to do other Jack Kirby groups like maybe LK brought up just best characters or maybe character designs. Maybe some other covers. I would love to do New Gods and the Fourth World, if you speak properly. Yeah, Woiled. It's the first Woiled. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. That's the who's it, the what's it's in the pageantries. I say let me share this thing out and we just get to it. All righty, let me pull.
Sounds good. Good way to start a weekend.
I think so. And once again, August is coming up, and normally I do some sort of Kirby month where I'll do some videos that are based on Jack Kirby's work. And so I already got the comic book origins of Nick Fury, all the stuff I was going to do for the Skrulls. I was like, I don't want to celebrate that show. I really don't. So I decided to save it all for Kirby month instead. You are the black pill of this, but wow, it is hard to defend the Secret Invasion. Anywho.
Oh, yeah. Anybody who does, I lose immediate respect for it. I mean, I will say quickly. I mean, I have not laughed harder in the last few days than watching a couple of the Emergency Awesome videos. And God bless him, he speculates like a MFer. but he is just trying so hard and just so much. Oh yeah, this means this, and we're gonna see this, and oh yeah,
he's really finding cheese on that. He's trying to fillet.
Oh yeah, well, Sonya, Sonya, at the end, that means we're going to get Excalibur, and oh, I think Henry Cavill would make a great Captain Britain, and it's just like, dude, stop.
Yeah, first of all, with the writer's strike, don't expect anything, even the stuff they announced.
More importantly, I mean, we have found out that with Phase 4, that none of these idiot creators know anything beyond the stuff they're writing. I mean, I go all the way back to, I learned my lesson with WandaVision. When all that speculation of, oh yeah, this is going to be
Mephisto, anytime Mephisto, yeah.
And then the interview comes out with the showrunner. Oh, I heard about this. I had no idea who Mephisto is.
Right.
That's like, okay.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. For the first time ever, you and I are probably closer together on a movie opinion or a TV show opinion. Why don't we save that for another time? You and I will get together. We'll just rate Super Scrolls or whatever you want to call it.
Sounds good. Let me just finish with this. I cannot wait until they put out the Marvel Legends action figure of Gaia with the baby arm.
Oh, it's supposed to be Drax, but it really does. And in all honesty, the arm looks real. It's her own face that looks like it was put on.
To me, it looked like she had a baby arm. It reminded me of Rick and Morty episode.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. All righty, let's actually get to let's start. Let's start dancing with the ones that brung us. And let me share this again, and we'll get to the top 20. I am wondering, because Dave's looking through it, what did I leave off that you guys might have liked? Let me go down. We have number 10 is the S tier God level Kirby, and then we've got awesome kingly Kirby, amazing elder statesman artist Kirby. We have fantastic and ahead of his time, excellent forefathers of superheroes, mad at his publisher yet still a workhorse. Number 4 would be off on his own Kirby, shaky footing Kirby, and 3 credits stolen Kirby, and 2 even as bad as pretty good Kirby, and Kirby has never done piss poor work. All righty, and I stand by this, by the way. This is non-negotiable. I don't even think that's an opinion.
Yeah, and of course, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but I kind of wish Venkman were here, our anti-Kirby
I'm sure he'll jump on. We've stalled a little bit, but they started doing 10 o'clock readings, so there you go. But they are most welcome to come on. I'm sure Eric would like to be joining us for this. Yeah. Here's the way it happens. I've got my trusty notepad right here, and by that I just mean a big pile of paper. And I'm keeping everybody's scores and everything. And what's going to happen is I'm also going to make a top 10 out of this from the long box. So let me know where you would put this. And yes, the rankings count as low and such. That means like, even though I have it mentioning experimental Kirby, don't think that you need to put his experimental work there. That kind of thing. It just go by the numbers and such like that. And we're going to start off with the cover to Fantastic Four number 1. Now, can I click on this, or do I need to? Can y'all see what number 1 looks like? Or I would recommend. Hold on, let me see if I can't find it for you guys. If you need to have a reference, I'm going through the first 100 issues here. I should have had this ready, but I literally just thought about the fact that I will.
Austin, it's easiest just to think of 1 through 10, with 10 being the best and 1 being the lowest.
Right. Yes. Because in all honesty, I just wanted to name them something. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to share a link where you guys could see what the covers look like a little better. And I'll read off the numbers and such. And here you guys go.
Appreciate that.
And in this, and on that link will be all of the covers as we go. And we're going to start off with number 1, LK. This is something I don't think you even need to look at because you've got it ingrained in your brain, just like every good comic book collector.
Yeah, I mean, it's, iconic is a word that gets thrown around a lot. But, I mean, this is one of the true, iconic covers. I've actually, this past week, have spent probably about 8 hours finally starting to go through my comic book collection and trying to actually organize and get all the, titles together. And I came across, I think it was a series that I bought in one of the auctions, the Monsters Unleashed, and they did a lenticular cover that was an homage, to the Fantastic Four #1. But I mean, it's such a just near perfect cover because you get to see the powers of all 4 characters. You get an action shot. It explains things. It drives you, and especially you think about, again, the 1960s, seeing this on the newsstand. You saw that, you're going to want to pick that up to find out what is this story about. And I think it's just an amazing cover. And so it's, I hate saying start out at 10, but yeah, I start out with a 10 with this one.
All righty. Frankly, I'm damn near agreeing with you on every point. As a matter of fact, the only thing I would add to it is that a lot of people, of course, now would not understand, but Kirby was a monster drawer. He was somebody who was working on the titles that would have all sorts of creatures and monsters. And so along with the Fantastic Four and all that, with the big monster that is taking center stage, you get him doing what he does best.
Looking at it closely, if I were going to give it a knock, it would be that the Reed Richards is not that detailed compared to the rest of the cover. And as you talk about, this cover also, points out how much of he loved drawing monsters, because, the monster on the cover is Grog, right?
Is it Grog? I know it's one of the mole men.
Yeah.
But okay.
Incredible detail. I mean, the mouth on that thing is just, it's just awesome to stare at it. And, Sue looks good, great representation of Johnny. And I was looking like, God, he didn't really put that much detail in like Reed's face. And he's got a really awkward
that's
pose.
The sweet spot. But you know what? I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say number 1.
Yeah.
That's number 10. That's a 10. Yeah. That's a tier. Okay.
Yeah. I'll keep my 10.
Rhaegar says it's the 10 as well. It's top tier. It's Jack Kirby God tier. And this is the introduction to the Marvel Universe. Think about that. Jack Kirby's image above all else is your introduction, not just to Fantastic Four #1, but to the entire Marvel Universe. Were you looking on the stands in 1961? So it had to be good, and he paid off. So we have Rhaegar saying it's a 10. Dave says it has the S curve with a torch, says Dave Asanowitz. All righty. And we have one slick dude saying number 1 is a 10. One cover that even people who aren't Fantastic Four recognize. All righty. And I give Fantastic Four issue #1 a 9, says Austin P. Breaking with the pack. Austin, I'm interested. Booby, we need to know why. What's up? By the way, also, if you're sitting in and you're not joining in, please do so. The more people who do, maybe the higher score, the lower score, the more even the score. Also, you can wait until the video's over if you have missed anything. Well, of course, we're on the first one. And, add it in later if you need to, or add it in the comment section as you need. So it is looking, though, we've got 1, 9, and we've got mostly 10. So I'm going to put that on God tier. God level Kirby. All right. I think the Galactus. Okay. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, this is the cover to the Fantastic Four number 88.
Oh wow, okay.
And let me find it for you, and I'll highlight it so you guys can get a look at it and see where you might want to put that. I think this cover is just free. I mean, all of them are really good, so that's kind of, just going off. But here you go. I love the colors on this one. It's let me move that down. Sorry. Where am I? Here it is. Where am I? Why am I here? There we go. All right. It's got some sort of vehicle that is just all sitting out all little stringy things, the tentacles. It looks like a hentai made in the 1960s. Great color on it. What do you think, LK? Where would you put this one?
I mean, as much as I don't want to, darn it, I've got to go with the 10 because you're right. The green colors just absolutely pop off this. Now 88 issues in, you get to see that, he's come up with the defined styles for, each of the main four. So here, Reed looks great. Sue looks great. You've got a classic, Kirby outer space type vehicle in it. It's an awesome, it's an amazing cover, and I hate saying let's start out 2 10s, but this is a 10 because of the quality. It's not an iconic one the way the first one is or some of the other ones we'll see.
But that's why they're here. That's why they're here, because
it's just an amazing cover.
It's the colors just pop. Every character has their and you don't hear this about Kirby because of course he draws those square heads and everything, but every character has their own facial features, expression, and each one reacting differently. The head hung low on Human Torch versus the mouth wide open on the Thing as he tries to fight it. It's really done well. I can't agree with you though on the 10. If I'm judging this by the other 20 covers, I think I've got to go with a 7 on this one.
Oh,
and
wow.
By the way, this is still this is my top 20. I picked these out, but I want to hear from you guys as well. So where would you guys put Fantastic Four number 88 here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I'm looking at this, and this is where, I wish there was some kind of, like official, print by order option. I mean, if I could get this as a 24 by 36 poster and put it in a frame and stick it behind me, I would be in heaven. I mean, that would be, just an awesome, this would be an awesome, poster. Especially if you get it printed where the greens just absolutely pop.
Oh, by the way, that is absolutely not the cover that we're on right now, but I'll make sure that it gets in there. I just realized that is not the one that we're on right now. Whoops.
I thought you said 88.
Yeah, but apparently it's the next one up was a closer to one issue. It's the one with the Incredible Hulk on it.
Oh. Okay. Well, I really like this one. I mean, I get.
Hey, I'm still gonna
have
it there. Yeah. Let's see. The one that is up next, and I do apologize for the mix-up. Let me stop sharing that out, and I do still want everybody's rating on it. But the next one up would have been this one right here, number 26. And yes, I'm going to try to be, as we go, loading the comic covers up in the order that they appear so we can share them out right here. Alrighty. And you can tell me what you think by looking at this.
Okay. I mean, again, obviously, a really good cover, but I mean, honestly, it's a little too busy for me.
Really?
Yeah. there's a lot of stuff, going on. And it's not as, for me at least, it's not as dynamic as number 1 or say number 88. So, for this one, you know what, this will be my 7.
This will be your 7.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is number 26.
Yeah. So in Jughead, what I'm eating right now, and what's really terrible is I discovered I can make
Cartoons and Comics.
I can make frappuccinos in my magic bullet. So I can just brew up a small pot of coffee and some heavy cream and chocolate syrup and a bunch of ice and dump it into the magic bullet. And I've got a nice, tasty frozen treat.
Okay, for 88, we have Jughead, or we have Rhaegar saying 9. And then we have Austin agreeing that it's a 9. 88 is a 7, says Dave Asanowitz. Alrighty, and 88 is a 9. Love the green, but no background, says Jughead. Alrighty, and I thought he meant the one on the screen. I was wrong. Sorry. Well, it has nice colors, and it is interesting. It doesn't convey the story and theme. So One Slick is putting it at a 6, and once again, it is just compared to other Jack Kirby's. Let's see. And then I started, let's see, is that 26 is a 7 to Austin P. Agreeing with you. All right, then we have a 6 from Rhaegar. Let's see. Hulk says 9 is fine for this.
Well, I guess, clarify. So Rhaegar, is that 26 for issue 88 or for issue 26?
Oh, no, he had already.
Did he already? Okay.
Yeah, I got that one already for him.
Just because
I saw Jughead is saying 6. Wow, this is in my top 20, and I don't see it as being as busy. I like the central figure. I love all of the individual characters, once again, having their own actions and reactions and the way they would approach the Hulk, if you were to approach the Hulk at all. Once again, colors versus background, a clear background, but it's exciting. It's an exciting cover to me. I would like to remove featuring a galaxy of world's most thrilling guest stars. That's the only word bubble that's really interrupting the art. Beyond that, I still think it's fine.
Yeah, well, and for me, again, that's part of what also kind of makes it, too busy. Having 3 word bubbles on there. And is that supposed to be Rick Jones scaling?
Yeah,
there on the left?
Yeah. Let's not. I guess we don't have to talk about Rick Jones there. That being said, this one gets an 8 from me.
Rick Jones isn't a terrible character.
No. I mean the fact that he's scaling a building. He is a human character. So, yeah. What is Cap doing? Cap looks like he's falling. In all honesty, Cap looks like he's falling there.
He's falling, and he threw his shield.
Yeah, it looks like he threw his shield with one hand while he's catching himself with the other.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. All righty. Let's move on then.
And Iron Man could try and catch him, but he's being a dick.
Okay. Let's see. Let's move on, and let me remove that. And this is a little bit more awkward than normal, but I hope you guys are enjoying. And we will move. What we've got with number 26, we have 26, 27, 28, and 19. That's 4 on the. I'm thinking a 7. I'm thinking it lands in 7.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. All righty.
Yeah.
Next up.
Where did 88 wind up landing?
Oh, I'm going to move that when we get up to number 88.
Oh, okay.
All righty. Next up, we're going to talk about issue number 16.
16. Okay.
Yeah. Once again, since I'm doing stuff also like adding pictures and all that, I will let you go first on all the conversation.
Okay, so this is one where you've got multiple characters, but compared to the last one, this one works so much better. I mean, again, you've got the menacing villain on it. It does have 3 word bubbles, so I'm going to knock a point off for that. But there are so many great things in this cover. I mean, I love the look of Doctor Doom. The magnifying glass on the Ant-Man, I mean, it's just point perfect on it. Again, all the characters, are defined. This one here for me, I also like the way the title is. You know what? I'm gonna go a 9 with this one. I'm gonna go a 9.
And this is issue number 16. Oh, by the way, I just looked. Number 88 didn't make my top 20. I am so freaking unprofessional. I'm just going to wear it on my sleeve now. Guys, I am, unprofessional as hell.
Well, now we know what to get you for Christmas. We'll just get you a t-shirt that says unprofessional.
Yes. There you go. All right. I'm looking at this. First of all, I'm an Ant-Man fan. I really am. I love Tales to Astonish. I love Giant Man to Ant-Man. Boom. Big fan. Love the fact that he's included, that they actually that Kirby went out of his way to do a magnifying glass. It's one of my favorite things. But the reason why I have this on my top 20 is the way Dr. Doom looks. I think you remove the return of Dr. Doom. We know who it is at this point in time. Maybe make it smaller, get it off of his head. And this cover is absolutely perfect as it is. I agree with you. It's a number 9. That's where I would put it. The colors, the red blending into pink with Dr. Doom's green and gray armor. It is such a contrast. It's such a pop. And yeah, I do love this cover, but I'm going to put it at a 9, not a 10. Let's see what we've got here.
Yeah.
Go on ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, it's great that you point out, the colors in this, because, I think we've gotten so beaten down with, so many of the Marvel or so many of the modern books, drab colors, dark, blacks and blues here. And here so far, we've seen just bright, eye-popping colors that just jump off the screen or jump off the page. And, this is one of the things that makes comics different than any other medium is you can have art like this.
Yeah. I mean, this is, once again, it's freaking incredible, right? I mean, this is the stuff that comic fandom is made of. What we got Rhaegar saying 8 because of Doom, and he looks really good on this cover. And let's see, Rick is the one who found the mega bands when he was wearing them, and Captain Marvel and him switched off.
Not anymore. Now it's Kamala.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Austin is saying this is the word balloons or word bubbles. What's your number grade though, Austin? 8 for Jughead, saying like the color in the magnifying glass. Alrighty, and I already wrote that down. Let's see, Englantine, a professional, not in this life apparently. Cartoon saying, God, that's a 10 for 10. How cool was the colors of the Marvel of that era and the pencils who did it's all of these are Kirby Fantastic Fours. Because this looks incredible, says Cartoons and Comics. All right, we got a 10 for number 16. Any cover with Dr. Doom is always a winner for me, a 9. One Slick, I had to eliminate one of my favorite Dr. Doom covers where he's looking over Latveria, Fantastic Four is walking on the street, and you see but there are so many freaking great Dr. Doom covers. And One Slick gets a 9. All righty. And then we have 16 as a 7. It's a good image. I wonder if the FF are actually that size this time in the story, considering Ant-Man's in it. That's a thought. It actually says visit the mysterious micro world of Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
All righty. So we get another 7 here from AP. To be fair, professional is boring. You know what? One time I did a video and I left in a belch, and I left in, God damn it, I could do that better than that. And instead of editing those out, I forgot about them and I left them in, and it got commented on so freaking much. So I did another video and I flat out asked, do you guys want me to leave the flaws in or edit them out? You tell me. And most people said they dug the flaws. The ands, the ums, the ers, it sounds real is what I got commented on. So there you go. Number 16, I prefer the red background being solid. He was also that Blue Hulk villain guy, A-Bomb. And that's the best X-Man ever, Kamala, to you there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's exactly what I'm afraid of after reading Hellfire Gala is.
I'm afraid to read Hellfire Gala, but I guess I will.
It's not, it's not bad. It's definitely not terrible. Jerry Duggan puts him through the ringer. You will never convince me that this was actually, the plan from the beginning. I'm sorry, but there's just been too much garbage in between.
Right.
But
to get back to this, we have 110, 3 9s, 2 8s, and a 7. This is either an 8 or 9, but because we have more on the 9 and 10 side actually than we do 8, I think this is a 9.
Yeah, sounds like it reaches a 9 level to me.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, kids, is an iconic cover if there ever was one. It's the issue where Hulk and Thing first meet and fight. Once again, how do you plead, sir?
It's good. It's not my favorite depiction of the Hulk. Again, all the word bubbles and everything makes it a little too busy. I'm gonna go with an 8 on this one.
Okay. And this is issue number 12. All right. I did not have these in order, but it's okay.
Yeah. Send the hate my way.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I don't think you're 100% wrong. First of all, I love the fact that Hulk Smash, Me Am Hulk, is nowhere to be found in most Silver Age books, by the way. Hulk Get Mad, he actually has a brain. When it comes right down to it, this is an iconic cover, but I'm thinking it's more so because it's an iconic issue.
Yeah.
And once again, like you said, send the hate our way, of course. I get it. But
yeah. Well, and again, it's funny too. I mean, I'm not necessarily a big fan of the dumb, stupid, smash everything Hulk either. It's more of the design here in terms of, I prefer a little bit more of kind of a monstrous looking Hulk. Or kind of like the Dale Keown, style, because I've read, because my Hulk formative years were reading the Peter David run.
Yeah, ultimately, when I look at this, it is just them approaching, and you're right, the word balloons take away a little bit of it. I think I would go an 8 on this as well. All righty, let's see what everybody else is saying, though. When I edited books for children, I wish I had some pencil who was 1% of the talent. That's why I see much of the current comics is so dependent on editorial. Yeah. Rhaegar's giving this 6.
Yeah. Well, and those editorial teams fail. Dave
is saying, however, this is worthy of a 10. And then we have, he doesn't think you're 100% wrong, just 99%. Just 99%. My problem with this cover is, says One Slick, is the Hulk is not one to hide from potential combatants. It's a 6 for me. Yeah, it's kind of like this is the Hulk. He would just jump in and let's go fight. If it had me, Hulk Smash 'em, Ugly Rock Man on the front, I would make it a 9. But it's a 6 since it doesn't. I like the exciting buildup of the cover, says Jughead. So it's an 8, and Austin is agreeing with the 6, saying they're well drawn. I just think the composition is flat. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight on I Love Comics, we just freaking smashed an iconic freaking cover. Eric Breen is now rolling over in his grave.
Yeah, or put him in his grave. R.I.P. Eric. So.
Yep. All righty. So what we've got so far, and once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening in, feel free to join in. If you want to go back and look through the covers, you can literally go number 1, blah, blah, put the numbers and let me know. I will mark them down. What I'm doing is I'm collecting the scores, and there will be a top 10 over it from the long box. So, yeah, there's that. And it will be based on your scores, or our scores, since I'm doing this as well. Let's see. Where do we stand here?
There's no
flat is the wrong word. Undynamic is more fitting. And Eric sleeps in the sarcophagus. Okay, so let me take this cover down.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say that there's no juicing the vote like they did on TRL back in the day. So
that is true. Okay, so we've got 3 at 6, we've got 3 at 8, and 1 at 10. So do we move the 6s over? I'm thinking 8.
I was going to say 7. I mean, if you've got 3 6s, 3 8s, and
but we also have 1 10 dragging it towards in that direction. So if it were 3 and 3, it would be the 7.
Well, let me see. Okay, 3 8s, that's 24, 18, 34, 42, 52 divided by 7.
I think the 10 drags it over 1 more.
It's like 7.3.
You're doing the math to win this argument. That's awesome. All righty, here you go, man. This is one I put in because I remember this is an Eric cover. When we talked about Fantastic Four covers before. We went through like the years and such of the decade, and this is one of the ones he thought was really good. Conversely, so does Alex Ross think that this is one of their best covers. I kind of like the sign, the UFO to the back, but I don't know. Like you said about issue number 26, this is a very busy cover. And it's almost like the Wanted Dead or Alive is the sole focus that it takes away from everything else. That being said, color's good, crowd's good. We got a torch down there as well. Ultimately, though, I think I've got to give this one a 7.
Yeah, I'm oscillating between a 7 and an 8. I think I'm probably going to come down on a 7 on this one, just because it doesn't quite have the dynamism that some of the other ones, better ones have. And it's a case too where actually the word mark there, having the 4 drag over into the poster actually kind of detracts from it.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely a 7.
All righty. Let's see. We have that's 6 more likes, says Cartoons and Comics, and this is issue number 7. I'm surprised they didn't go by number. Let's see. Average cover says 1 slick, and that is a 6. All right. And so we have 2 6s and 2 7s. Let's see. 7 for 7, says Dave Asanowitz. Wow. Where would you put it, Alpha Eagle, in a ranking of 1 to 10, understanding that there is no bad Jack Kirby covers? Let's hear where you would put it. That's what we're doing here today. I would like this cover better if the wanted poster was 4 individual wanted posters instead of a billboard. 7 for 1 slick dude.
No, and right. Austin P becoming the tough grader that we all hated in school.
Ah, there you go. This one's a 3. It's just not vibing with Austin. He says, I can see the B-movie sci-fi influence, which is fun, but he's still giving it a 3. All righty. Let's move that on over.
Mm-hmm.
And Jughead says, he repeats the average cover. And Rhaegar says, miss a 6. All righty. There we go. And yeah, feel free to put a number to that. Where would you put it? 1 through 10, with 1, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Ash is voting a 5 on this as well.
Okay.
All righty. I think we actually have our first 6 here. Let's see if is 1 good or okay. 1 is bad. 10 is good. 1 is the worst. 10 is the best. Yep. And he's saying 3.
So yeah.
All righty.
So yeah, I think definitely it's coming in a 6 and possibly even a 5 with those 2 3s dragging it.
Yeah, well, we have 3 7s, 3 6s, 1 5, and 2 3s. So at the very least, it's dragging those 7s into the 6.
Yeah, no, it's definitely in 6 territory.
Jughead just dropped to 5, so we get we get rid of that. We now have 2 6s, 2 5s, 2 3s, which I've got to say this is at the best. This is a 6.
Yeah.
Because right now, skipping over the 4, which would I'm actually looking at it like a tug of war of sorts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well. At the same time though. So go back in terms of how many votes we had. So how many votes?
9 so far.
Okay, 9 votes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had 3 7s, 2 6s now, 2 5s, 7, and then 2 3s.
Yeah, the way I'm seeing it, since it skipped 4, this is absolutely 6 because you would have to count the fact that they skipped 4. So this is a 6 at best. But do we put it at 5? You know what? I'm going to let you be the judge on this one, sir. Is it a 5 or a 6?
Well, I mean, you total up the score, it's 46, and divide by 9, that's just over a 5.
Let's put it at 5.
So it's 5.
You mean bastard. All right.
Hey, don't blame me. I gave it a 7.
All righty. Mad at his publisher, yet still a workhorse, Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely a workhorse. I don't think he was mad at Martin Goodman quite yet.
All righty. Next cover up though is also an iconic cover. It's issue number 4. You want to start, or shall I talk about?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay, so flat out, we get the return of the Silver Surfer. He's absolutely freaking kidnapping the Invisible Girl, the most powerful, as we'll find out, member of the Fantastic Four. I love the yellow in the background, contrasting with the blues, the orange, the red. It's not the most heroic. I don't know what's up with the booties on the thing, but this is flat out striking. And for that, I do have to give it a 9.
Yeah, for a lot of the same reasons. I love the layout. Everything is meticulously, placed in there and moving things around to make it fit. Yeah, the booties on thing is hilarious. I was like, wait a minute, is that a coloring problem? Or no, wait, actually, no, he is wearing boots. Which I don't ever remember the thing doing. But yeah, so yeah, this is a 9 for me. I'm looking at this cover. I love the kind of terrified look of Sue. On there. It's a great depiction of Johnny too. You get that real sense of motion. With the tail he's got, trailing the arc. I mean, almost like a genie, really, because it's almost like his legs are fused together. It's a great cover.
All righty. I sent a message to Eric. Yeah, we're looking for him on this. We really are.
Yeah.
This is his team, man. Hopefully he'll be bouncing in. Alrighty, so we have Rhaegar saying 8 because the submariner. Alrighty, and Alpha Eagle is saying 6. And let's see, it's pretty good. He says 6. Those are galoshes, says One Slick. Okay. Also 8 because of the booties, says Rhaegar. 4 is a 6 for me. It's great, but Jeter, so many. There are better ones, yes. Okay, so we got a 6 from Austin P. And then we have Ash saying, yeah, that's a 6. Alkali Duckles, I don't like the poses of the FF, says Jughead. Except for the Human Torch, I can see that. At the very least, you would think Reed would be stretching to stop Submariner from stealing the woman he loves. Mm-hmm. And Jughead says a 7 on that one. And Alpha, it's prime numbers, but I'll put you down for a 7.
Yeah, or whole numbers is
whole numbers. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, granted, 7 is a prime number, but yeah, if we were just going by prime numbers, it would be a 1, 3.
Yes, I know. I don't know why I said that. The negative space usage on this one is genius, but the galoshes takes away from it. One Slick Dude gives it an 8. All righty. So now here is the thing. We have 2 6s, 2 7s, 2 8s, and 1 9. So
Ash just changed his vote to a 7.
So a set. Well, okay. Now we have, and he was a 6. All righty. Now we have 3 7s, 1 6, 2 8s, and a 9. Is this our 7 of the day here?
Only 1 9. I thought. What was your vote?
I thought I am the 9. There was another one?
I gave it a 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
2 9s, 2 8s, 3 7s, and 1 6.
Sounds like an 8 to me.
Sounds like an 8 to you. All righty. Let's move this to the 8s. Bird, do not destroy my pen. All righty, please. Pretty please with sugar on it. Stop. Oh, you motherfucker. Look at this. He took the. Stop it. Okay.
He stole your pen. That is impressive.
Well, he takes the ink out of him. Stop it. Okay. Damn, boy.
Is he drinking the ink?
No, he bites. Oh. Yeah, he actually does. He bites it off. We didn't see him do it one time, and he comes up and his beak is just black with ink. All righty. And we're going to go with an 8 on this one, huh?
Yeah. So, and cartoons and comics agrees.
All righty. Here we go. And next up, we have what I thought was a really cool image. It's the Fantastic Four. It's the Fantastic Car. It's a poster image. This is what I would call a poster image. Mm-hmm. Of course, you got the word balloons around. I can see this being on someone's wall in the 1960s or 70s. It's done very well, and it's not dynamic beyond it being a cool poster, though it says nothing about what's in the issue. I think this is issue number 3, by the way. For those of you who want to take, well, I guess you got a good look here. I like it, but I've got to give it an 8 because ultimately it is a poster cover rather than anything else. It's letting the blurbs tell the story instead of the image.
Yeah, and I mean with that, I'm actually going to knock it down to a 7. Again, to also the bubbles take up too much real estate. In there, I could do without the big blue bubble there in the upper left.
Okay. Let's see what do we got. Human Torch looks great in the Namor cover. That's why I raised my number, says Alpha. Let's see, 5 because Fantastic Car is a meme. Looks like a giant bathtub. Yeah, but that was kind of cool. All right, I gotta say, I liked it for the day.
This is the 1967? No.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, this could be 1961, maybe 1962.
Yeah, 61. I mean, come on now. This is 1961.
I got to tell you something. At Universal Studios, they have a Fantastic Car you can take pictures in. And I have sat in a Fantastic Car. Loved it. So we got Rhaegar giving this a 5, and you said you're dropping it to a 7?
Yeah, it's a 7 for me.
All righty. And then we have, let's see, this one is a Fantastic Four car ad. It's a 7 for me, says One Slick. All righty. Let's see. Now, this is a classic. Ash gives it an 8. And then we have a giant SpaceX bathtub, says Rhaegar. I don't want to know what the thing was doing that night, Ray. Wait, what? Alpha says number 3 looks good. It gets an 8 for me. Human Torch again looks great.
Yeah. No, that comment goes back to, they were asking, what is the thing doing with his hands on issue 4?
Okay, I agree. A good poster, says Jughead, so it is a 7 for him.
Cartoons and Comics gives it a 7.
Okay. Let's see. We have we lost a voter somewhere. So we have 1 5, 3 8s, and 4 7s. So to me, this is flat out a 7.
Yeah, that's a 7.
All righty. Let me move this, and then we'll get this going, and boom.
Yeah. And it's one of those, honestly, I'm surprised that we haven't seen, say, more homage, covers for that, because as people were pointing out, it's very much of a poster type cover, and it would be very easy to slap a version of that on an issue of the Fantastic Four.
Okay, let me put the number here. This is issue number 75.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, this is another, I put it up there for Eric Breen, because he's talked about loving the floating heads. And I thought, of all the floating head covers, this is one of the coolest. So I put it on in here. It is a very red cover, but it obviously wants you to know who the important figures are. It does, once again, different expressions, different people, different personalities. Unfortunately, though, that's a lot of red. So for me, it's a 6.
Well, Eric, if you're out there somewhere, you looking down on us, you're gonna smite me for this. The red doesn't bother me as much as it's just a really bland cover. There's not a lot going on. I mean, yeah, the detail on the heads is nice, but it's not a lot else. This is where I'm going to become a tough grader. I'm going. This is my 4. This is a 4.
Oh, okay. Wow. It's not as bad as AP's 3 from the last time, but 4 for you. Okay. Let's see. Floating head covers are cool, but this cover needs better color, says Glenzer. Glenzer, 1 through 10. 1's the worst, 10's the tops. What would you grade this? While I love this cover, I don't care for the color scheme, so it's a 7 for One Slick Dude. Bird, get off my pins. All righty. 7 for One Slick Dude. So far, the highest grade on this one. The red is what saves this, says Ash, and saying it is a 3. Okay. Don't like floating heads on movie posters, but this is okay. 5 for Jughead. It's a 7. Like the 2-tone colors. It's very striking, says Alpha Eagle. All right.
Well,
Eric, get on in here, man.
Yeah, now I'm not feeling so bad about my vote.
1 for each of LK's census. Okay. He still gives it a 4. 75 is a 9. I love the contrast and is a fun floating head one. It would look even better in its original 4-color process, and floating heads are a hit and miss for Austin P.
Yeah.
He rates it higher. 5 is as low as I can go. Huge FF fan. The way we're talking about this, just to give you a heads up, is we all understand you're not going to find bad Jack Kirby, and it's hard to find bad Jack Kirby FF cover. So just grade it versus all the others if you want to go in that direction. Now all the hot takes are coming in, says Rhaegar.
Yeah,
I guess there you go.
And, the thing is, I won't necessarily disagree with Austin P in terms of this is another one where if you could get this as a 24 by 36 poster in the kind of original 4-color style, it would look sweet on a wall. Especially if you have a room, where red is an appropriate color that like matches with the the color of the walls or whatever decor you have.
All righty.
But
Rhaegar is saying he's trying to use the whole board. My problem is I don't have any that I really don't. I mean, this is my top 20.
Yeah. So he's trying to grade on a curve, and that's admirable.
Yeah. Glenzer, don't get ahead of don't get ahead. We'll get there. We'll get there, man. We'll get there. For now, though, this is what we've got. We have 1 3, 2 4s, 2 5s, 1 6, 2 7s, and 1 9. And
it's really all over the place.
Yeah.
Definitely the 3 cancels out the 9.
Yep.
And then you said what? 2 4s, 3 5s?
2 4s, 2 5s, 1 6, and 2 7s. Dude, we're looking at a 6. I'm just looking and averaging the.
I was gonna say 5, but
Well, the way I'm seeing is once you take away the 3 and the 9, you're looking at 12. 2, 1, and I think you're right. I think this is a 5. I think this is the 5. All right. Let me take that down, and we'll move this one on over.
And can I say that it's going to be scientists that kill all of us? I'm just reading this story this story popped up on my phone about a 46,000-year-old worm that was found in a Siberian permafrost, was brought back to life and started having babies. Great.
All righty, kids. Next up.
They're going to kill us. They're bringing back a plague.
Next up. Put your game face on, man. Let me put out the number here. 112. So I can tell what exactly.
I can tell you, Glenzer's going to be disappointed in me, but why don't you go first?
Okay. Colors are dynamic. I love the looks on the Incredible Hulk and the Thing. It is the most simple of the covers that we have seen so far. It exactly is what is on the cover you get in the book. There is just one freaking boom, slap, dab. This is it. As Stan Lee says on the bottom, enough said. You don't need more than this to understand that you're going to get awesomeness in this book. This is a fucking 10. This is absolutely a 10. That is where I stand. It is such an obvious, and it's boom, it just hits you, slaps you in the face. You're going to get yourself a badass thing in Hulk. This is what should have been issue number 12. Go on ahead.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm sorry. I do not like the black background. To me, it feels like it's just sucking the characters in. And, just compared to the brightness that we've seen in so many of the other covers. It's 2 good figures.
But you're getting the brightness in the characters themselves.
And there is some dynamics here, but overall, It's a 6 for me.
You are a communist.
I am a complicated person.
Right. Communist. Life Finds a Way says, okay. 10 says Glenzer. All righty. Let's see. 9, simple but great, says Alpha Eagle. And we have, that's a 10, says Cartoon Comics. And then we have, perhaps I'll give this one an 8, says Rhaegar. And let's see, simplicity is power. Sometimes says Cartoons and Comics. Thing with the funky arm. And it has the kiss rule. Keep it simple, stupid. And anything besides a black background would detract from the characters. They are the story. I agree with LK, says One Slick Dude. A fight in a setting instead of a black background would have been a better 7 for him. And Austin P is also saying 7. It's unique, simple, and bold. This seems like an inspiration for Avengers Annual #2. Eric, where's your bid, man? Come on in.
Yeah. Now, I will say, I forget who had said it earlier, but if we saw kind of like what the actual printed cover looked like, because here you're getting kind of a digital, black. And so, the way it was originally printed, it wouldn't be so black. It probably looks better. But the way that it comes through here for me, as I say, the characters are just like getting pulled into the background.
I did get all of the images off of that Comic Vine site.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And Jughead is saying, don't like the background, love the Hulk and the Thing poses, and the exception of excitement, but the all black is an 8. All righty. Let's see where we stand here, ladies and gentlemen. We got 3 10s, 1 9, 2 8s, 2 7s, and 1 6.
Well, that's heavily leaning towards 9 territory.
We got 4 and then 5 on the other side. 8. Eating dinner and then back to work for a bit before bed. All righty, Eric. Hey, don't forget to leave them in the comments. Leave the gradings in the comments if you don't mind. I'm going to make a top 10 out of this, and all 20 will be included in the video, but mainly focusing on the top 10 here. Let's see. I'm torn, says Ash. The black makes the characters pop, but LK does have a point, and he ultimately gives it an 8. And this definitely pulls this thing down to a 9, maybe an 8, because we have 1 6, 2 7s, and 3 8s. So that section is a little heavier than the 4 people who gave it a 9 and 3 10s.
Well, let's see, because you said there were 2 9s, right?
No, there's 1 9, 2 10s, 9. But there's 2 10s. Or 3 10s, excuse me, 3 10s.
Okay, so 3 10s, 1 9, 3 8s, 2 7s, and a 6. Yeah,
I want to give it a 9, but I'm kind of leaning towards the 8 because it seems like more is involved there. But you do have them pulling over, so it's got to. Where do you guys think? 8 or 9? What do you?
Well, if you do a pure average, it comes out to 8.3.
8.3. Okay.
Yeah.
Still interested in what everybody thinks there. See if they overwrite it, but we will go by the averages. Here we go. All righty. Next up, we got to talk some Silver Surfer here. And this is another cover I remember Eric praising when we were doing our talks about the covers. And we got 9, it has class. 8, round it down, says One Slick Dude. Okay, let me put the number up here so I know I know that we're bidding on this one. This is issue number 72. Okay. What do you have to say about this one?
So comparing this one to the last cover, I like this one a whole lot more.
Okay.
Yes, the Fantastic Four aren't on it, but you get this great depiction of the Silver Surfer. Having the combination of the red and black in the cover, in the cover of the background, and then the watcher, behind it, actually helps us stand out so much more. If they had, again, for me personally, going back to the previous one, if they'd done something similar with the background on the Hulk thing cover, the way they did this one, I would have given it a higher score. So that, that being said, and just kind of the iconic nature of it, I'm giving it an 8.
Okay. Look, I'm seeing the watcher, and he is exactly the way he should be portrayed, almost ethereal in the background. Kind of funny because I thought that one cover, because of all the red in the background, kind of detracted the red and yellow. This time around, though, you've got just enough shadow, just enough black in there to really make that red color pop. And of course, Silver Surfer being the Silver Surfer on the cover is amazing. I don't think you need the energy blast to make this a great image. It's like a chef that puts one too many ingredients into the pot.
Yeah.
And it's like, just makes it a little bit off. So I don't think this makes a 10, but you know what? I do think it makes a 9. So I'm going to go with a 9 on this one. All righty. And let's see. Ash is saying 9, and then he had to say bye. Be safe. Hope you're okay. And see you later there. The Watcher is in red and is creepily staring. It's a 9 for Rhaegar. And then we have, that's a 10 for sure. Best so far, says American Eagle. All righty. Let's see. This is a 9. Nif said, says Austin. All righty. And then let's see. Take your vitamin C. Love Silver Surfer, especially for the Kirby space effects. It's a 9 for One Slick Dude. Okie dokies. Glenzer is saying an 8. The motion of the Surfer while he unleashes a cosmic blast is poster stuff. All righty. And then Austin is saying, if not for one even better cover, I'd give this a 10. He's only given 110.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's giving this.
He gave it a 9.
A 9. Okay. Let's see. Jug is saying, I don't like all the red in this one, but it helps the Surfer. 8. You're right about the laser blast, says Jughead. All righty.
Well, and if you look too, I mean, you get the classic Kirby crackle with the way that the red breaks up.
Yeah, the way it reacts with the black colors. Like the black is, of course, what causes the Kirby crackle. It really is a good cover. Let me see. We got that the random off picture cosmic blast is a bit extra. I never liked this cover, says Mark MMM. Dude, that okay. Never liked this cover. Surfer looks like he's losing balance. By the way, give a number grade, Mark, if you want. It'd be a 9 if for me if there were Fantastic Four floating heads. And then Cartoons and Comics. The Watcher is a great figure there, and it was a simple thing to show what is the mood of a character in the image. It's a 9. It has class, and that's from Cartoons and Comics. Dude, this is a 9. We've got 6 9s, 3 8s, and a 10.
Yeah. that sounds pretty solid 9 territory there.
Yep. Let me get this down, and then we'll pop this right to the 9s.
Yeah.
We have not had a failure of a cover yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what is next. It is, I believe, this is one of the annuals. There we go. Annual number 8. Let me put that into the comment section so we know.
Well, no, it's a king size special, but I think it's just number 8.
No, it's the annuals. They used to put that up there. All righty. I thought Engleton was going to have a Mitch McConnell stroke after he read my. Oh, no, it's not Mark MM's comments. There was a gentleman a while back that used to come to this channel named Mark and MMM. And he died.
Wow.
So at first I was going to call the dude out because, you know, he was a good man. He came on the show a few times. And, but then I thought, you know what? He died. The name's not being used. I hope you're a good man. I hope you're doing that as an homage, or that you had no freaking clue. But there you go. All right. Glenzer is saying this one deserves a 10, but how do you rank there? Where would you put this?
Well, again, there is a lot of stuff going on in here. I mean, you do have a great pose with Namor, but with everything going on in the background, in the foreground, the main part of the image just kind of gets lost. And so for me, especially kind of, again, trying to, compare and rate this to other Kirby Fantastic Four covers here, I'm going 7.
Okay. See, I disagree with you on this one, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. All right. This is a Kirby cover, but it absolutely could be a George Perez cover. You're right. There's a lot of stuff on this, but it is crystal clear everything that's going on with the soldiers, with the vehicles, with the crowds in fear, the defeat of the human race on the side. And to me, none of that detracts from Namor looking exactly how we would think he would, that whole noble kind of arrogant pose, as he has his foes trapped in the water bubble below. This is nearly a perfect cover to me. I've got to give this a 10. The fact that you can actually separate all of the elements and still see and understand what's going on, to me.
That's fair. I mean, I would say, though, like if this were a Perez cover, I think that main portion of the image would be about 10 to 20% bigger.
Okay, so yeah, fair point.
It would be pushed out more. And again, that's kind of why for me it's a 7. I mean, the more that you kind of stare at it, the more, at least for me, they just kind of start not fade in the background, but you just kind of lose it a little bit.
All right. Okay, let's see. Glenzer gave it a 10. There's a lot going on in this cover. The level of detail is amazing, says One Slick, who gives it a 10. And then that's a 9. Looks great. The FF look like they're in real danger. That's from Alpha Eagle. I just like this one. He and Jughead says and gives it an 8. That's I have to read this comic cover, says Glenzer, that they don't make anymore. Austin is saying this is a definite 9. It's busyness that works. It's grand and loud. Alrighty. It's pretty busy, says Rhaegar. It's a cover one could just look at for a long time, says Austin. Englantine, just a coincidence, didn't know the other. That's fine. Like I said, that's why I stuttered a little bit, because I was like, hold on, dude. Because at first I thought, you know what? This is a freaking troll. But then I thought, don't do that because I have no idea. So by all means, welcome. Feel free to be a part of the conversation. Give us your grades. 1 is the worst. 10 is the best. We're basing it on Jack Kirby Fantastic Four, so we know there's actually no bad covers, but, rate it along with what we're seeing here. And welcome. Once again, welcome. All right. I'm giving it a 10, says Rhaegar. All righty. Hi, guys. I will say that a cover is an 8 because the FF will die seeing Namor's junk. Okay. Hey, if that's your reasoning, there you go. The busyness works on the cover, says Jughead. Lego, how you doing? Saying has to be a 10. Alrighty, and then it's a 9 for cartoons and comics. Dude, we have 5 10s. We have 5 10s on this one and 3 9s, 2 8s, and a 7. Now we could say it pulls, but I'm thinking this goes in the 10 column. With 5, that's once you get over a certain number.
Yeah. I mean, with half of them being 10s, that's fair.
Yep. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you have just joined us, you're listening in, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I could bid or vote. Excuse me. Go right on ahead. 1 is the worst. 10 is the best. Also, feel free to leave your top 10 in the comments after this is posted, because I am making a top 20 video for my other comic book channel where we basically just talk comics. And so all of the scores are being recorded, and it's based on these scores. So there you go. All righty, let's see. We're going to put this one in the 10 category. So let me go right on over, pop this thing over. This is the only other 10 so far. All righty, next up. Where are we going to? Next up, I've got to find this cover here. Galactus. Oh, did I? Oh, there it is. Here we go. It is issue number 74. There we go. Okie dokies. Galactus looks awesome on this. Silver Surfer's a little puny. You got the other guy swinging in. I got to tell you, I put this here for the Galactus of it all. But I'm looking at it now, and I'm kind of closing in on it, and I'm thinking it's mid compared to all the others. So I'm going to go 5 on this one. This may be the one that I regret putting in my top 10. But here you go. Okay, where do you stand on this one?
I'm not going to quite say mid, because again, it has some dynamic elements to it. Again, good use of background. I mean, I do wish Galactus stood out more than kind of being in the shadows of it, especially when you've got the title bubble down there and when calls Galactus. I mean, he should be brighter on the cover than
more prominent,
so
more striking.
I mean, with that being said, I was initially in the 7 range, but again, kind of the more that I look at it, I'm gonna go 6.
Going 6. All righty, let's see how everybody else is taking it. 9 better than number 74 in his opinion. All righty, we get a 9,
even though this is issue number 74, but
yeah, it is.
I think he's
Rhaegar says this one's a 5. All righty. I have to give this one a 7, says Cartoons and Comics. And we have, this is a 9. Every Galactus issue is a banger, says Austin.
No. Well, that's true. But remember, though, we're grading a cover and we're judging it against.
Yeah, I'm just grading it according to other covers. Yeah. I know this is an awesome cover. You put this up against damn near anything else, and it gets a 10. Too much wackiness, is Rhaegar. 7 for me. The green dude kind of looks like he's sleigh riding on his chest, says MK. All righty. And that is a 7. I don't see any interaction between characters, so Jughead's giving it a 6.
Yep, that's very fair.
And Glenzer saying, yeah, he meant in issue number 72. And Lego is saying this is a 6 as well. All righty. Okay. While I really like this cover, says One Slick, the perspective could be better. Robot to big, surfer to the surfer is too small. Oh, robot too big, surfer too small. And One Slick gives it an 8. All righty. And let's see, barring any other numbers coming in. And by the way, anybody watching is more than welcome to vote, or not vote. Yeah, vote. I was about to say bid again. I didn't, and I still corrected myself. Let's see. We have 2 5s, 3 6s, 2 7s, 1 8, and 2 9s. So we have 5 on one side of the 7, and we have 5 starting at 7 going up. I'm thinking that's the bridge. It's either a 6 or a 7. It's a 6-5. So do we round up to 7 or do we stick with 6?
Oh boy, it's really right in the middle. You could go 6 or 7. I mean, personally, again, since I gave it a 6, I would argue for a 6, but
well, let me check something, because I think this'll work for me. There you go. We're giving it a 6 because no other book has gotten a 6 yet. All right.
Yeah.
It's petty, but what the heck? I'll pull my I'll pull the ring.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing too. Honestly, if you scroll back up compared to the two, I think we have two books as sevens right now. You know, compared to the two sevens, yeah, that is not as good as, at least for my opinion, it's not as good as the two sevens. So I think a 6 is appropriate.
Okay, well, next up. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm trying to find it on the sheet here. Here we go. We have annual number 2. All righty, let me put the number in.
Annual number 2.
There we go. I'll let you start the talking.
Well, you know, it's funny. This is the type of cover that speaks to me. This hits a lot of the same notes for me as issue number 1.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it's even more defined, more refined. Now, granted, you don't have all the background details with number 1, but you know, I love every depiction character on here. Again, another great Doctor Doom cover, you know, showing just what, you know, kind of the, you know, menace that he is to it. So for me, this is a 10. You know, plus I also love the multicolor Fantastic Four.
I've always liked that, by the way. I've always liked the multicolor Fantastic Four logo.
Well, and especially because, again, that's another way of that stands out and makes it unique, because they didn't do that for every issue. It was something special, you know, that they pulled out. So yeah, this is a 10 for me.
Well, I'm agreeing with you. And when I was looking through these and I was going, God, I got to get 50 of these erased. Every time I looked at this cover, in my mind, it was just going up and up and up and up. I love the Invisible Girl hanging off the thumb and Reed Richards stretched all over the place, trying to hold it, like almost like he's trying to give her something to grab onto. Everything looks awesome on it. Everything is awesome. It just looks so freaking cool. It's striking. I would buy this book if I didn't know who the Fantastic Four were. And let's face it, there might have been a time in 1964 where some people didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I would pick this up wondering what this was about. So I have to give this one a 10. But Glenzer says, nope, it only deserves a 9.
Yeah.
And Cartoons goes one more and says, I give it an 8.
Yeah.
And
well,
let's see, Classic Doom, 9 for One Slick Dude. And Austin saying 6. Doubt Doom is that big in the issue. It's clickbait, but fun clickbait. Yeah, but that does happen. I mean, that's comics for you. All righty, so let's get 6 for Austin, and then good cover. But why is Doom always so large? Because he looks awesome when he fills the cover. That's my thought of it. So
yeah, well,
and he's giving it a 7.
You know, you were saying it. You know, the more and more you look at this, you know, I mean, I have to admit that the more that I look at this in terms of giving it a 10, I, you know, would, if I had to, I would bump down, you know, the cover for issue number 1 to a 9.
I wouldn't, but I think this deserves to be up with it.
Yeah.
Rhaegar is saying that he likes Austin P referring to a comic cover as clickbait from the 1960s, and he gives it a 9. And right below him, I see Mark MMM saying, it's an 8. And there you go. Mine is lower only because of the title colors. I like that some people don't like the multicolored title, but there you go. So what we've got here,
accounting for taste.
What we got here, and remember, everybody is welcome to bid. God dang it. Everybody's welcome to vote. And this, even if you're not participating right now, feel free, once this is posted, put your top 10 into the comments. It'll help the listing. It'll help the top 20 that I'm going to make. And definitely will help the algorithm. So there you go. Yeah. Mim K says 6 for me. Not sure if it's the angle of Doom's face. It just looks weird. Okay, is. And this is what we got. We have 2 10s. We have 3 9s, 2 8s, 1 7, and 2 6s. So there's no dominant number, but we have 5 and 5 if you take it from 9 and 8. We got 5 from 9 to 10, and we've got 5 from 8 to 6. So does that pull it down to the 8? Does it stick the 9, which is the dominant number of the high grades?
Well, I mean, the fact that it only got 2 10s from the two of us.
And everybody else, nobody agreed with us. So.
I mean, it sounds like to me that it's probably fairest to put it in the 8 column.
The 8?
I think you're all horribly wrong and just awful people for that. But
right, of course, yeah. We had to include the
that,
awful people, right? Okay.
Yeah, but based on the number, I think it's an 8.
Okay, so it goes to Elder Statesman Kirby.
Yeah.
Not that, by the way, the descriptions of the number have nothing to do with anything. We got number 7, fantastic, ahead of his time. 6 is excellent, forefather of superheroes. 5, mad at his publisher, but still a workhorse. 4 is off on his own Kirby, on shaky footing Kirby. Credit stolen Kirby. Even his bad is pretty good. And of course, Kirby has never done piss poor work in his life. Kirby, we already know that. Let me get this. This is kind of a personal badass cover, in my opinion. It is Blastar fighting the Fantastic Four in issue number 62. Before we get to that, though, thank you very, very much for the super chat. Glenzer saying, perhaps one day, the best Doctor Doom covers of all time. I like that. Now, one thing that I prefaced in the beginning of this video is it is August in about 4 days, right? So what I figure is I wanted to get a jump on Kirby month. I always did videos about Jack Kirby or Jack Kirby's work. And this is why I wanted to do this today. So we have a top 10 on Tuesday. And I'm thinking we're going to do every Friday, maybe a Kirby tier list. So fun times. It'll be all sorts of different, maybe different covers, maybe different characters, so forth, so on. But yes, if this goes over, if people like the tier lists, we'll do a best Doctor Doom covers. Thank you very much for the super chat, sir. Cartoon says CBR interview with ID editor for G.I. Joe said he regrets getting always the same type of person and people who hate the military. That's priceless.
Well,
there you go.
You're the one who hired him, Mr. Editor. So yeah, that's on you.
Okay, hold on, Glenzer and Austin. Let me get this one in here, and then
and Glenzer, that is a disturbing avatar. Is that some kind of homage to the Hellfire Gala?
All right, so we know that Glenzer and Austin both give this an 8. This is an 8. I've never seen this one, and I love it at first sight. How about you, LK? Where do you stand on this one?
Yeah, I'll go with an 8. It's definitely got some solid elements. It's got some classic Kirby touches to it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually kind of like the detail of the Earth there in the lower left corner. So yeah, it's a good solid 8.
All righty. And my take on this, I love the Blastar. We got the Kirby crackle on the left. I agree with you with the Earth. I just thought this was a striking and dynamic issue or cover. I have to agree with you, though, and as well as Glenzer, and Austin, it is an 8 to me.
Well, so far it's getting basically nothing but 7s and 8s.
No. And Lego Jughead says good cover, nothing great, 7. Lego says 7. Cartoon says, oh, give that an 8. It's good. Has that classic sci-fi style. Okay, so 2 7s and an 8 coming right up.
Yeah. And then MK drops by and drops in a 9.
9 for me. I think that it looks badass how the FF are getting blasted by the guy who looks like Kalibak. His name's Blastar, by the way, but yeah. And Mark MM is saying Blastar isn't looking at them. That's true. But he gives it a 7. So there you go. All righty. One Slick Dude chimes in saying, while the action is good, I'm thinking like, who is this guy on the left? Is it the Torch? 8 for One Slick.
I was gonna say I thought it might be Silver Surfer, especially since it's Blastar that's involved in on the cover.
More cosmic.
Yeah.
And Rhaegar saying, yeah, 7 seems legit. All righty. But my avatar is a Night Gallery painting episode. Camera Obscura, says Glenzer. All righty. Dude.
I remember that episode.
This
Night Gallery is great.
Okay, dude, this is an easy 8 to me because we've got 6 8s and 4 7s.
Yep.
So
that's an 8.
Yeah. All righty. Plop, 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 and fizz, fizz. We need to move that over to the 8s. Okay. Next up, man, I was looking at this one as one. What do I do with this? Is this good enough? Does it get eliminated? Is it great? Because I've got 2 books that had him looming over. I went with this one. I hope you guys agree. Let me write down the number real quick. This is issue number 39.
Yeah. And a blind man shall lead him. And looks like maybe a blind man chose the cover.
Okay, you tell me that you did not actually say that. And why do you think this is fantastic?
Well, I mean, first off, compared to the other 2 Doctor Doom covers that we've seen, this is number 3.
Okay.
Yeah, the looming over the city is nice, but I'm sorry, for me, it's just a really bland, just average cover. This is a 5.
Wow, all the way down to 5. Oh shoot.
Yeah, I mean, the figures aren't doing much. I mean, they're walking.
Okay. Yep. We have Daredevil, of course, leading the Fantastic Four. I like the colors on this one. I like the I like the fact that the colors start off. You got the dark night sky, and then you've got the just a bit more colorful Doctor Doom, and then of course the brightness of the street light that light up our heroes. So I really do like the triple kind of tier of brightness that's going on in the cover. The blind man shall lead them, however. They did this for the annual. I think that should have been on the wall or maybe on the ground as they were walking over it, something along those lines, because it does break up the darkness. Otherwise, once again, I like the triple tier color on that one. I don't dislike it as much as you do. Obviously, it's in my top 20. But I gotta say, you're right about one thing. Put this up against other Doom covers. This isn't a Doom cover. It's a Daredevil and the Fantastic Four cover. And even they're not prominent enough. So I'm going to give this one a 7. All righty. Let's see. Rhaegar is saying it's a 4. Whoa.
Good man, Rhaegar.
We're getting those low numbers. I don't like how Daredevil looks, says Jughead, and it gets a 5 from him. They are just there, and it's not really dynamic besides Doom. Doom looks cool, but it looks boring, and the colors are drab. 8 for Lego. So far, the highest grade. 7, Doom looks great, but the heroes look a little awkward, and the thing is way too small, says Glenzer. All right, and that was a 7. Okay, dokes. Let's see. Oh, that's an 8. It's menacing. It's almost like how Matt perceives Doom. And that's from Cartoons and Comics. Mark M says 7 only because Daredevil looks awkward. All righty. And then we have Rhaegar saying, in this issue, this is during his short-lived music career when he called himself Lil Fang. That's actually clever. All right. The title says the main character is Daredevil, but the art says Doom. We are just strolling through the neighborhood. Is this Yancey Street? Or would it be Hell's Kitchen? Let's see. And One Slick says it's a 6. And MK says, I'll give it an 8. Doom kind of looks like he's an old man getting up. So we got 1 6 and 1 8. All righty. Okay. This is where we stand there, LK. 3 8s, 3 7s, 1 6, 2 5s, and a 4.
It's I'm gonna say then it's probably a lower level 7. You know, because you've got 3 8s and 3 7s to counteract the 4 and the 2
If
5s.
we do your average thing, it doesn't make it to 7, it's a 6.
Oh, you added them up and
Yep.
divided?
Yep. I'm gonna plop it. I'm gonna do that. All righty, we're gonna give this one a 6. I don't know. Okay, so here we go. This is kind of an iconic cover as well.
I was just gonna say, it's funny though. You put it against the other 6, and it's like, yeah, that fits.
Sometimes, hey guys, we actually get it right here sometimes. All righty, gang, we're going to go with issue number 42. And what do we got going on? What do you think? This is one of those covers you see pop up a lot. It's Thing versus Mr. Fantastic. You got that nice purple background. Once again, lighting up as it goes. They like that color scheme where you got the dark purple, the light purple, straight on down to the white cover where the battle is taking a background on. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you've got Paste Pot Pete there. You got Medusa fighting the Invisible Girl, the Wizard off to the side. But it's mainly, what do you think about the Thing and Mr. Fantastic? And I like this one, but I've got to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8. And at least for me, when you compare it to the other kind of one-on-one battle cover, the Thing versus the Hulk,
yeah,
this one stands out so much more for me. And yeah, this one I like a lot more. I think an 8's totally fair.
All right. 6, 7, 8. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. I had to flip the page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, it's funny, Austin, that you say that it looks awkward, and I think that's something that people miss. When you fight Mr. Fantastic, it should be an awkward fight.
It really should,
because he's a stretcho made of rubber. You shouldn't be able to get like a solid hit on him. It should be awkward. Your hand should sink into his arm, and just weird stuff. Okay.
And what did you give it, LK?
I gave it an 8. So I'm with you. I'm with you. This is an 8.
Okay. So Cartoons and Comics said straight up 8, as well as Glinzer and Rhaegar.
Yeah. So, and again, you pointed out with what they did with the background. If you had taken the Thing in the Hulk and put it against this background, drop out the background characters, but do a background like this, those two central figures would pop out that much more. And I would have liked that cover that better.
Austin is saying this looks like a 5 cover, and Lego says 7. And Paste Pot Pete is hilarious name, says Rhaegar. I love it. I don't like the Trapster. Go back to Paste Pot Pete. I'm back. It's an 8. The color is a bit drab, says Alpha Eagle. All righty. And feel free to go over the ones you missed if you would like. And I say LK is on shrooms. Most of the time. One Slick said the classic hero against hero cover, even though the story isn't about that, cover interaction is great. It's an 8 for One Slick. All righty. Mark says 8 because the background colors makes everything. All righty. And then we have it helps the cover that the Frightful Four and the rest of the FF are in the background, says Glinzer. A 9 for MK. I like how they're tangled while Human Torch is flying around in the purple background. All righty. There we go. Dude, it's an 8.
Yeah.
We have 8 8s on this one. 1 5, 1 7, and 1 9. So this one's heading to the 8 pile.
Yeah. It's a good old-fashioned 8.
It's a good old-fashioned 8. where I think 8 is the highest.
Yeah, it looks like 8's kind of becoming our dominant number here, because I see 6. 6 in there. We've got 2 9s and 2 10s.
Well, that's about to change, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but yeah, we have 2 9s, 2 10s. And the cover that we are looking at right now, let me put the number up so I know what you guys are bidding on. Cover we're looking at now is number 49. LK, I'll let you start.
Okay. Again, people are going to say, this is an iconic cover.
It absolutely is.
But it's funny in a lot of ways. This is very similar to similar problems that I had with the Doom cover that we saw just a couple of covers ago. But this one, with the color of it, there's actual reactions from the Fantastic Four, make it better. But I think I gave that last Doom cover when I gave it a 5, right?
Yeah.
So with this one, I'll bump it up to a 7. I can
Some
see
of the
through your reaction
on I Love Comics does not match or is not endorsed by England team. You are off your gourd, dude. You gotta wear a hat when you walk in the sun, man. I don't know what's up with you. Okay, let's talk about those awesome covers. Let's talk about, though, even though once again he's green and not as prominent, he is the central figure this time. This is the way to introduce Galactus onto a cover. He is looming large. He is absolutely in charge. The Silver Surfer just breaks up that red cloud just enough to add some dynamism, awesomeness. I love the fact, like you said, those 2 rays or 3 rays, 5 actually, coming out of his hands, destroying the earth below as the Fantastic Four are running away, tells you flat out right on the cover that they are in over their heads on this one. They're running away. They're fearful. They don't want to be a part of this, but they know they have to be. And that is just a few of the reasons why this is absolutely a 10.
Yeah. Now, see, again, this is something where I'll disagree with. I wish that he had done some kind of Kirby crackle with those laser rays, because when I first glanced at this, it almost to me looked more like puppet strings. I'm like, okay, well, he's not controlling the Fantastic Four.
Puppet strings destroying the earth?
Just at a quick glance, the solid white lines, like 2 coming down on top of Sue and 3 coming down on top of Ben, and the way his fingers are, to me almost looks like a marionette, like puppet string. So if he had changed those to be more like a Kirby crackle kind of thing, then I could see it better.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, a whole bunch of you guys are just on drugs. All right, but here we go. And here's the thing. I will be 100% honest with the addition and everything. This is I picked out the top 20, but you guys are telling us where it lines up. All right. So far, Glenzer is almost as wrong as you are, because he says 9. Alpha Eagle, absolutely correct in his assessment. He says 10. Cartoons says it's a 9. Great style. All righty.
You skipped over Jughead.
Did I? Oh, yes, I did. Jughead says 9. There you go. Lego says 9. And then we have MK saying 8. Saying, I am really drunk now, so maybe my opinion shouldn't matter. I think it should, but if you think that way, I'm just kidding. Only thing that's a little odd to me is Galactic Hulk green. Other than that, it looks awesome, says MK, and he gives it an 8. All right. Austin says this is a 10. It's the ultimate FF cover. See, now, Austin knows what he's talking about on this one. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Let's see. 8 only because Johnny isn't lit up, says Mark MMM. All righty. And then we have, the green is throwing me off, says Rhaegar. First Galactus, like the perspective on this one and the interaction, says One Slick Dude, a 9 for One Slick Dude. There we go. Let's see. We've got an 8 from Rhaegar, and just thinking it looks, I guess, more like chewing gum. Okay, there we go. I disagree a little bit with you guys, obviously. This is This is the ultimate of all awesome Fantastic Four covers. But yeah, okay, let's go. Where we stand, and by the way, if once again, if you're watching and you haven't voted, feel free. 1 is horror, 1 is bad, 10 is awesome. Feel free to jump in or wait until it's posted. This will be the basis of a top 20 video. I'm using you guys' scores, not my own. I picked out my 20 favorite. You tell me which order they go in is basically what we're going on. Where we stand, we have 3 10s, 5 9s, 3 8s, and 1 7, guaranteeing this is pulled out of the 10 and into the 9. That's where we stand. You disagree or agree, or what do you think?
106, 3, 6, 11.
Well, it's 3 and 3. It's 3 and 3 in between, sandwiching the 5 9. So I think the 1 7 pulls it from a 10 to a 9. That's my take on this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, adding it up, I mean, it's
nothing's going to be a 10.
It's barely a 9.
Okay, but it's a 9.
Yeah.
All right, gang. Next up, we've got another one of Eric's favorites I had to include, and this is issue number 51. Let me put the number up, and we'll vote after that. Now, I know he loves the story. I put up the cover because when I was looking at these, I noticed a lot of times the Thing is mouth open. You get the rage, you get everything. He managed to pull a morbid image, a saddened face out of the Thing on this cover. Of course, in the background, you have something going on with Mr. Fantastic as he's absorbed into this energy. And you have Sue pleading for him to help, but something has frozen the Thing. And you get that in his body language. You get that in the positioning of his arms. You get that in his face. And that's hard to do with the Thing. And I think Jack Kirby nailed it here. This really is one. It's a very simple cover, but it's one of my favorite of his. And I do have to give this a 9. What do you think, LK?
Yeah, I'm in the 9 category too. I mean, it's a really powerful cover, quite different from most of the covers that we've seen in terms of being action oriented and pow zoom kind of stuff. This is just a very dramatic cover, and the depiction of the Thing is just incredible on this. So, yeah, I'll go a 9.
All righty, got you down for that. Glenzer says 9 as well. Eric says he just found a Hulk 180. So close, but still, that's a good high value book, and it is the proper first appearance of Wolverine. Cartoons is saying, one question from outside the U.S. The WGA strike is still going. Because I don't know who cares about it. No one here.
It is still going, and it's gonna keep going for the foreseeable future.
One of the best things, 2 of them actually, that I've heard as far as the strike is concerned, is Disney is now looking for AI writers, and the other one is that a lot of studios are getting together to see how they can get out of a whole bunch of these first look contracts. So basically, it looks like instead of getting what they want, the studios are now about to say, you're fired. We'll find somebody else. We're in Hollywood. Somebody wants to make movies. And I think that's awesome, especially the way that a lot of writers have gone the DEI kind of route. So, yeah there you go.
Well, I mean, again, stay tuned. A phrase you're gonna hear quite often over the next several weeks as force majeure.
Okay.
And that's basically going to be the provision in those contracts that allow the studios to get out of them.
All right, but for now, let's see what everybody else is thinking of this. We have Mark saying 10, Kirby's greatest cover because it shows genuine emotion. It humanizes the Thing. the first page from the issue would be the only better thing artwork, says Mark MMM. There you go, a 10. This is a 9. It's pure character cover, says Austin. Alrighty. More importantly, what is happening to Mr. Fantastic? I guess we have to read it. That's a 10 out of 10 classic Kirby, says Cartoons. Alrighty. If the other members were not on the cover, it would be a 10, but they are, so a 9 from Jughead. Alrighty. Pat S says simple but with style. What number grade? 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. Would you give this, Pat? LOL to Jughead from Rhaegar, who gives it a 9. Alrighty. And then we have 9 for sure. I like how Thing is in the Thing is in a between meditating and pooping stance. Okay. Buddy did give it a 9. Alrighty. And 8. I prefer action to this sadness, says Alpha Eagle. The dude who names himself after a gun prefers action? What? I put $500 on it. It's a 5. That is a good price on 180. The Thing looks awesome, but the rest of the cover seems disconnected, lacking reference. 8 for one slick dude. Well, what's going on is Mr. Fantastic's in danger, and Sue is pleading for his help. Looking for AI writers is a funny statement. Eric has got, well, people who can do AI properly, and I guess Eric has got 5 on it, like that one song. Who wants to pay for mediocre writers of today anyway? That's true. In other words, they're looking for programmers, not writers. Yeah, exactly. Pat S says he's giving this a 7.
And especially the fact of, I mean, if you're adapting stuff, if you're doing sequels, AI is just as good as anything. The one thing AI can't do yet is really kind of come up with, unique original stories. But if you're going to continue to just churn out these, adaptations of books or reboots of movies and sequels of movies, AI is just as good.
Okay, so Pat S just gave this one a 4. Anyone who's read that issue knows that the Thing on the cover, actually, who's read that issue knows that the Thing on the cover is actually, okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so what we got here, and once again, anybody who wants to, they can vote, or if you want to wait until the end and just leave it in the comment section, that's awesome. What we got here, we've got a 4, we've got a 7, we've got 2 8s, we've got 7 9s, and 2 10s. That 4 hits, but I'm still thinking it's a 9 because the 7, all the 7 9. So I'm gonna plop that there. All righty, and let me move this on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so this is just in my. I of course like this because 1, I'm an Inhumans fan. 2, this is an incredible, freaking dynamic cover, man.
I wish they got a better scan of it.
I know that
really
that's the.
dark.
Let me see if I can't find. Let me see if I can't find it. What number is that again?
82.
A brighter scan, 82. Because yeah, where I took this from had a dark scan. So you're right. You're right. Let's see. I do believe this is a more bright. Okay. And let it do. Give me just a sec. There we go. That better?
That better.
At least the cut, yeah, because the other one looked like it from a nice and faded.
Yeah.
But there you go. LK, let me know what you think here.
Oh boy. Yeah, I like the numbers on it. I like the perspective. Reed's finger sticking out at you. It's almost, kind of a 3D aspect. But I'm just not sure all the elements come together. I'm giving it a 7.
Okay, let me tell you what I see. First of all, you've got all of these heroes, and um, while yes, I think Reed is the central figure here with the hand, the finger, and all that. Of course, your eye is drawn to Black Bolt just a little bit more, and it almost makes a trio of the Thing and Mr. Fantastic and Black Bolt, with everybody else being the supporting characters. Everyone here is drawn with detail. It's dynamic. You can see the motion. The lines help that out. This is as Alpha Eagle was looking for. This is a great action cover, and you just know whomever they are going towards is about to get their day screwed. So I myself am giving this one a 9. All righty, and let's see. We've got before the number though, we had Easy 10 from Rhaegar. Alrighty, and then we had 8 from Glenzer, and then 10 from Jughead. Pat saying that's a good one. Alpha Eagle says very dynamic, gives it a 10. And then we have a 9 from Austin P, and Lego gives it an 8. Alrighty, Glenzer, that cover treats Gorgon the way Disney treats black characters on their China movie posters. Oh, in the background, easy to remove. There you go. MK is saying it deserves a 7. And Pat is saying high energy movement. Austin says, I would love to see an Alex Ross version of this. Ooh, yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That would be a really interesting piece.
Great cover, but feels like a World War II cover. Swipe 8 for one slick dude.
You know, that's a great point too. You say that, I could totally see this as a Defenders cover or a Champions cover.
Okay. Invaders, I think, is the direction you're going with the World War II, though. It's doing an S, says Pat. I'm not sure what that's for, but solid 8 from Mark MMM. Let's see. Drawing terms. Glenzer says, and we treat the Inhumans show the same way, which we do not discuss Bruno. I give a 9, says Cartoons and Comics. Need just one thing to be a 10, the background. All righty. And let's see. Ahsoka, hey, what's up? Says, give it an 8. All righty. We'll do. And welcome. Feel free to go back over the other covers or wait until the end of the show and put it in the comment section when the video's done. But for right now, where we stand, okay, we've got 3 10s, we've got 3 9s, but we got 5 8s and 2 7s. So we've got 7 on one side of the 8 and 6 on one side of the 9 and 10.
I'm going to say it's probably going to average out to a low 9.
A low 9, you think? All right.
Yeah.
Let's go there then. And I do believe we've got one left after this. And it's one of those Dr. Doom covers.
Let's see if it's any better than the last one.
Here we go. This is issue number 86.
Okay.
The last of the night.
The last one of the night. Okay. Definitely better than the last Doom cover. Again, comparing the two, you got the menacing and the differences, the reactions of the Fantastic Four and Crystal in terms of, cowering and, fearful, that they're up against something that, they're not sure about. And again, I wish we kind of had a better natural scan of it, because I think some of the digital coloring here is taking away a little bit of the detail. But I really like this cover, and what the heck, it's the end of the night. I'm going to go a 9.
Okay, give me just a sec. web file. All righty. What are we looking at here? I got to tell you, Dune kind of looks. What are they called? The Nazgul. And in Lord of the Rings, when the hobbits are hiding, and he just kind of that I'm getting that kind of vibe. I'm getting that kind of vibe from him here.
I can see that.
Otherwise, I'm agreeing with you. I'm going to change out the picture here before we go forward to get, like you said, you need a little bit more natural color. And there we go.
Okay, well, brightens it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, I love the way Dr. Doom looks in this. I think that you're right. You see a lot of fear in the eyes of the Fantastic Four as well. This just carries a lot more weight than the Yancey Street Daredevil cover. You gave this one a 9. I'm going to agree with you. It's not a 10 to me. It's not the perfect cover, but it is a dynamic one, and it's an awesome Doom cover as well. So there you go. That's my take on it. Let's see where everybody else stands, and then we're going to be. Now, did I not put the number up?
I'm not sure necessarily.
No, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Glenzer says a 9. Pat says it's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a 5 from Jughead. After the praising, it just gets slapped by Jughead. Oh, give us a reason why there, man. Easy 9 from Rhaegar. 8, Doom looks great, but the FF not so much, says Alpha Eagle. Let's see, 10, man. That's how you show how scary a villain is. And that one is from Cartoons and Comics. All righty. Pat S says finished piece. Cowering in fear before Doom gets the high marks. There we go. Hello. What's up, RDV?
You broadcasting from your bathroom?
What's that?
I said, you broadcasting from your bathroom, hiding in your bathtub?
Okay, you saw the message.
Yeah, I saw your message there on Twitter. So you said you were in the eye of the tornado storm, or
not good. Hope you're doing all right there, man.
Yeah, so far so well. I swear, I live in a biodome. Everything goes around me.
Yeah.
I went out there. I cleaned out the gutters, and I'm like, it's lighting to the west, lighting to the north, the east, the south. I'm like, where I am, nothing.
Well, let me get the rest of these. Lego is saying 8. And then we have MK saying 10. I like how Doom is about to grab the couples and leave the thing alone.
Yeah, so if I drop out, that's because of the storm.
Okay. 6 from Ahsoka. Doom looks amazing. Fantastic Four looks like your average background characters of the mid-2005s. Righty. Best Doctor Doom cover yet, but I can't describe why it's not a 10. It's a 9 for one slick dude. All right. Leave the thing alone, says MK. It's the witching hour, everyone. And yeah, it is midnight on the Best Coast. Yeah, Nazgul, aka Ring Wraith, says MK. Yeah, that's what I get out of that. Oh, this is the last cover of the evening. I guess, is that you, Vank?
Yeah, I was asking before I came on.
Yeah. Let's see. Brightens it up, but the FF still look like a background character, says Ahsoka. And Austin says it's a 7.
This is a solid 10 if you had one.
Okay, I'll put that down. Do you want to go through them after this is done?
I'll have to go. Yeah,
leave.
I actually thought you guys were done. I'm like, wait, there's extra life still.
Yeah, we went through all 20, and actually, I got to tell you something. I'm digging this because we're actually going through the covers and talking about them and what's good, what's bad, what's dynamic. It does take 2 hours, so these are long streams, but I hope you guys don't mind about that.
They're a hoot.
And they are a hoot and a holler from what I understand and hear. Oh, I closed off the wrong thing. Let me get.
No, you just blocked it. Okay.
So where do we stand? That is the big question here with the last one. Let me let me turn this back on with the share. This is what we've got here, LK. We have 1 5, 1 6, 1 7, 2 8s, 5 9s, and 2 10s.
That screams out 9 to me.
You think? Because we have 5 9s, but we've got 5 on the 8 side, and some of them are lower as well. I'm thinking, as much as I like it, it goes to 8.
So you said there was what, a 5, a 6?
There's a 5, a 6, a 7, and 2 8s versus 5 9s and 2 10s.
5, a 6, a 7, 2.
So no, I think you're right, because we have 7 on the 9 and 10 side,
4.
and we only have 5 on the other side. I think this is a 9. I think you're right. This goes to the 9s. There we go. All righty, let me make this larger size.
Anything that has Galactus or Dr. Doom on it is higher than all the rest. I don't care what anybody says.
It is something. It is something. I want to try to make this a larger image. I don't know if I'm going to succeed, but here we go. So everybody can see it a touch better. But here is where we stand as far as the tier list. I'm not going to break it down to what's best on every level, because I'm going to just do the top 20. But here we go. No 1s, no 2s, 3s, or 4s. People love their Jack Kirby. What you going to do?
You guys are biased.
Oh, yeah. No, I cannot wait to see your ratings, Venkman, knowing how much you love Jack Kirby.
They're all 1s.
At 5, we have number 7 and number 75. And then at 6s, we have issue number 74, and I forget this, like 37, I believe it was.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 39. Excuse me. On number 7, Fantastic Ahead of His Time, we have 3, and I do believe this was like 26. And then we have issue number 12, issue number 4, issue number 62, annual number 2. 112, and that one, which the number is escaping me here, 62, I think.
Sure, why not?
62 or 42.
No.
And then at 9, holy crap, we got number 16, and we've got the this one was 82, and then this was number 72, number 60 something. This one's 62, number 49, and of course the last one, which is I've got to check someone, 86. And then the only 2 10s is issue number 1 and annual. I believe this was annual number 2 or 4 or something like that.
8.
Annual number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding up everybody's scores, and we're going to see where they stand in the top 10. It might actually end up being different from where they stand as far as the tier list. So we will have that kind of juxtaposition. So
yeah, I was actually looking at King Size Annual number 8 for reading. It looks awesome. Anytime you get Namor in there, it's fun.
No.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love that cover. Let's see, if you haven't voted and you're watching, you go, okay, I haven't put my 2 cents in, go on ahead. When this is posted, just go to the comment section and put where you would, what tier would you put all of these at, and they will actually go in. That's 1 through 10. What would you rate it 1 through 10? And I will put that onto the sheet and make a top 10 list. I'm going to make this list for Tuesday because I like the iteration, the top 10 Tuesdays. So it's going to be on From the Long Box, which is my other comic book channel. So watch out for that. There you go. Sorry you didn't join us for most of this.
That's okay. I grabbed something to eat, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, guess what? We're in a thunderstorm warning, and then tornado warning now. That's
a lot of fun. Yeah, we're entering our big hurricane season. We had a few big storms, but nothing too horrible. What you got for us there, brother?
Yeah. So actually, I took it's a freebie. That is the MI Mission Impossible IMAX poster that they're handing out. They're just had on the table at the theater.
Nice.
That is really cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I got it. I just love just kind of the Art Deco or the kind of just the style.
Kind of looks like Vertigo-ish.
Yeah, and then
movie poster,
basically an inexpensive $10 frame from Hobby Lobby, and voila. So this will be going up actually probably in the room out there, because eventually that's going to be kind of like the home theater type area.
Yep. Oh, MK, actually the next tier list next Friday, I was thinking of doing, because it's Jack Kirby's birthday month. I've always done Jack Kirby videos in August, and I was thinking of doing, oh my gosh, Mr. Miracle, The New Gods, The Fourth World. So, or I might just do put up Jack Kirby's DC covers. Whichever one appeals, because you got stuff from The Demon, you got stuff from The Fourth World, you got stuff from Mr. Miracle. So the Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. So there's a lot of cool stuff on the DC side to celebrate Jack Kirby. I've got Nick Fury's origin of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've got the Skrulls already set up and ready to go. I've got the Super Skrull origin as well. Once again, I was going to put those out during the Secret Invasion TV show, but the Secret Invasion TV show was nothing to celebrate. So
not really. It ended.
That is true.
That's about the best thing you can say. And this is a case where we're actually on the side of the quote unquote professional critics, because they have lambasted the show, and the final episode is actually the lowest rated MCU show thus far.
Yeah, the whole show to me was just kind of a snore. There was some okay parts, but for most of it was just like, wasn't offensively bad, but it was to me very, very mid. Like I said, it's a show you don't even really need to watch. It's like they put it out there just to have something to be out there in between the movies.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna say offensive, I mean, for me, the offensive part was how badly treated Nick Fury was.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a Nick Fury moment where this is the way I think of Nick Fury, even the Samuel L. Jackson version. Everybody thought he's past his prime, blah, 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 yada, yada. It's an act. And now I'm going to press the one button that is going to show you that I've been 3 steps ahead of you at all times. That was what I was missing from this show.
Yeah.
I want Nick Fury to be the guy that knows everything. So, yeah.
And actually, it was funny. I'm sure I kind of registered this in the back of my head, but it became the aha moment when I was watching another kind of review video that was tearing it apart. And so remember, Gravik's whole motivation for this was Nick Fury broke a promise when he was a kid.
Yes.
We never got the big final confrontation between Nick Fury and Gravik.
No. You had him talking, you had him selling it. And by the way, I do not, for as much as I dislike the show, and I didn't hate it, I didn't like it, I think putting any kind of emotion towards it is doing more work than the actual people who created it. If there was ever a rice cake of TV shows, if there was ever a plain water with no ice of TV shows, it would be this one. This one is air. It is the flavor of nothing. It's like, I did say this, and I don't know where I put this, but Secret Invasion is nothing, and it's hard to describe it because it's absolutely nothing, yet something exists. And it's hard to describe a nothing that exists. That's how I feel about the movie. Secret Invasion was nothing. It was
for me
nothing.
I think their whole plot of the whole storyline is just basically the whole story with nothing. But the main takeaway is that the Skrulls are now in control of everything. It's going to lead into the New World Order, or sorry, not Brave World, New World. It used to be, wasn't it New World Order?
I thought it was New World Order.
They've had Illuminati. They've had Brave New World Order. Take your pick.
I feel like it's going to tie into that. It's going to do a little bit into the Marvels, but the Marvels won't really take much more with that. It'll be a different story, but I think it'll tie into the whole thing, because especially if you find out what the whole thing with Rhodey, how they did him dirty.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bad idea.
Yeah,
that was a really bad idea.
And the other thing that really just annoys me about this is these creators are so just untalented, uncreative, because they tried at the same time both, quote unquote, wanted to use continuity, at the same time wanted to tell this in a vacuum. Because when you started thinking about it, all of this stuff in terms of, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't find you a planet. It's like, really? You've had Carol Danvers out in space for X number of years. You've got the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy. And we know that because of the final episode where, she's got Drax's DNA and Gamora's DNA and all the other, bullshit.
Well, Guardians 3, they rescued all those people. So,
yeah. And you had go back to, was it Thor Dark World, or where you had all the Asgardians on the ship and all that stuff. So this whole idea that, in the 20 years or whatever, we couldn't find you a suitable planet. They did so much of that stuff, and then the end with the president, that part again annoyed me in terms of, they so often try to, ground these in reality and try to, act realistic. If you're doing that, the president of the United States, even if he's a wimp, which is how they tried to portray, initially tried to portray this president, isn't going to make a big pronouncement that, oh my God, the Skrulls are here, and we're going to war, and basically inject a ton of fear into the populace. This then becomes a secret shadow war of, hey, we know what you did, and so you're going to have all these, that's where you get the spy story from. That would have been the awesome spy story, is it gets discovered, and so now you've got all the governments working behind the scenes, and sending out their elite, assassination squads, and
you get the kills, the kill crew.
Yeah.
That would have been, instead of a whole bunch of random guys going around shooting, it would have been cool to get that.
If you think about it, it would almost be like taking like the John Wick universe, or the way the John Wick universe is, where you've got all these assassins, like in the regular people don't know about it, and dump that into the MCU in terms of going after the Skrulls. But instead, they go with this over the top, nonsense, which was just the icing on the, crap cake. That was this whole series.
I would have loved the Secret Avengers story. The whole thing. You can bring back Jeremy Renner if his leg's healed enough. You can have Scott Lang, Ant-Man, and a few others if you want on the team. And this going, like you said, the whole spy thing. Mm-hmm. Too bad they killed off Black Widow, because they could have used her.
Oh, but but we've got Yelena.
That being said, let's do this as an actual video where we could just go off on them, maybe Sunday or something on that. For now, though, my wife came home, and I'd like to say hello. By the way, I am officially 53 years old in about 5 hours.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm staying 52 all the way down to 5 o'clock.
Wait, did you say 63?
Yeah, right. Today is my birthday. And what we have planned for my birthday is I'm going to do an auction tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And that's about it. So please join us for that. And let's see. Otherwise, you know what? I'm just going to sign off. You guys have a great time. I'm hungry. I want to go downstairs and say hello to my wife and maybe get some bacon and eggs or something. I don't know. You guys have a great time. And once again, 8 o'clock tomorrow for the auction. We need people, man. We need
8 Eastern.
We've got to have something.
Tell all your friends.
8 p.m. Eastern or EST, Anglo-Teen Standard Time.
Anglo-Teen Standard Time. There you go. All righty. As Glenzer said yesterday. So 8:22? Right. Okay. So you guys have a great time as always. Thank you very, very much for watching. Good night.
Good night, everybody.